Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's CGB, and today in the arena we are playing Minsc and Boo Timeless Heroes. It's a mid-range deck designed to use the commander to both pressure the opponent and get card advantage. It can play a variety of styles and it has a lot of sweet cards, so I look forward to sharing it with you. And in absolutely contrarian fashion, it's not a Paradox Engine deck. I know many of you are very disappointed that we would dare release something that isn't a Paradox Engine deck in the Historic Brawl section. But, sometimes it's okay to branch out a little, even with green and red cards. Is it okay? I don't feel okay. Forget it. Anyway, Minsc and Boo Timeless Heroes. This is a new card from the new set, Alchemy Horizons Battle for Baldur's Gate. It's exactly like the card that was printed in paper, Minsc and Boo Timeless Heroes. Except for that 3. They literally just added 1 to the mana cost for, I guess, too strong. And you can see why. Because that hamster is cute and adorable until that hamster is flying at your face. The text on this card, since it might be a little small for some of you out there, says that whenever this enters the battlefield at the beginning let me try that again. Whenever this enters the battlefield and at the beginning of your upkeep, if you don't control a creature named Boo, you create Boo, a legendary 1/1 red hamster creature token with trample and haste. I had a hamster once. Hello, darkness, my old friend. +1, put 3 +1/+1 counters on up to 1 target creature with trample or haste. -2, sacrifice a creature. When you do, the Planeswalker deals X damage to any target, where X is that creature's power. If that sacrificed creature was a hamster, you draw X cards. So, general idea, play it, make a Boo, pump it up. Next turn, you can either keep pumping Boo up, or you can fling Boo. Draw 4 cards if you fling Boo, who just has the +1/+1 counters from last turn, for example. That is epic. A -2 that destroys target creature and draws 4 cards would be absolutely insane. The opponent can interact with it a little bit more because of the way that the Planeswalker works, but it's still absolutely wild and takes over a game very quickly. There are a few strategies you can use when brewing up Minsc and Boo. You can try to play Trample Haste Tribal, which I don't think is necessary. You can try to play a very, very aggressive deck. I don't think that's necessary. The thing that I learned playing this card in Commander is Minsc and Boo does it all by itself. You just have to have good cards around it, like kind of decent value cards so that you don't get run over in the game and so you keep your opponent under pressure. And Minsc and Boo provides all the card advantage and aggression that you might need. You don't need to build Trample Haste Tribal. Not everything has to be a tribal deck, guys. So I'm going to show you around my piles that count up to 100. First of all, the big creatures I play. These are the only things that I cast that are 6 or greater. Carnage Tyrant, Inferno of Starmounts, Chandra Awakened Inferno. What do they all have in common? Yes, you might have won the prize. They all can't be countered. So if I'm going to run a big thing in Historic Brawl, it has to be kind of broken, or it has to not be able to be countered, or you have to have a way to cheat it into play. Is Vorinclex absolutely cracked in this deck? Yes, Vorinclex is amazing in this deck. Does Vorinclex ever resolve? Ever? Not really. So Carnage Tyrant, Inferno of the Starmounts, and Chandra are what got the nod in this particular build. Here are the cards I only run because of my commander, Minsc and Boo. There's a lot of just good stuff here surrounding the commander, but these are cards that specifically interact well with our leader. Hardened Scales. Whenever 1 or more counters would be put on a creature, put that many +1. So Minsc and Boo isn't 4, it's 5. Nice. Or Boo, I should just say. Luxior, Yada's Gift. This one can turn Minsc and Boo into a creature, and then it can plus, and it doesn't have like trample and haste necessarily, so it can't like plus onto itself. It can fling itself, but it's not a hamster. Anyway, this card is really funny when your commander is a planeswalker, generally speaking, so we're going to play it. It's kind of just interesting in this way. Plus, there are ways to give Minsc trample, and then the counters could go on itself, like Shadow Spear. Shadow Spear does, to be fair, go in a ton of decks, but in this deck, it gives trample to a creature so that you can put the counters on all kinds of creatures with Minsc. Ozolith. Keep those counters, put them on the side, get them back in a few minutes. Collision. Not necessarily a Minsc only card. I run this in a lot of decks, but the +4/+2 in trample when you give it to the hamster and then fling the hamster basically doubles the amount of cards that you draw. Drawing 9 cards, or like 8 or 9 cards or more with Minsc is kind of insane. Blackblade Reforged. Boo is legendary. That means Boo can carry Blackblade Reforged, and you make a new Boo on every upkeep, even if it dies. So, also flinging a Blackblade Reforged hamster is epic. Choose your weapon. I chose Blackblade Reforged. No, that's not this. Double target creature's power and toughness. Again, you fling Boo for way more. You can also kill a flyer, which comes up a lot. Then we have a Crow in War. Minsc Boo is a sack outlet. The -2 lets you sacrifice any creature and fling it where you want to fling it, not just the hamster. So we can play the Crow in War, yoink the opponent's best thing, hit him in the face with it, and then throw it before we give it back. That's pretty fun. This pile is all the removal pile. It goes kind of fast at this point. Don't get too, don't get overwhelmed by it. But this is all the ways that we interact with our opponent and what they have going on to totally make them miserable. This is the ramp pile. You can see that we have really overloaded on removal and ramp. That's because our commander handles the card advantage side for us. It even helps with removal, so we often have more than we need. This is what I call the protection pile. I don't have these in standard decks very often unless I'm playing some kind of a hex-proof strategy. Like, there's been a lot of that Virtuoso card that we play in standard, Illuminator Virtuoso. Anyway, this is, in Historic Brawl, if you really need to protect your commander, like, these are pretty good. Allosaurus Shepherd says that green spells can't be countered, which includes Minsc Timeless Heroes. Shaper Sanctuary, if they try to kill your stuff in response to you using Minsc at least you draw cards. Safekeeping is here because it protects the Planeswalker or the hamster. Veil of Summer, because there's a lot of blue out there, guys. Be safe. Heroic Intervention, yeah, naturally. And Domri, Anarch of Bolas, doesn't really protect Minsc but the +1 does let you resolve your creatures. And if you can resolve your creatures, you can usually pressure your opponent enough that eventually they have to take the shields down so you can resolve your Planeswalker. These are just all the value-gasm cards. Just good value on all these cards. Sweepers, I always put in the value pile because you can kill multiple things with them. I don't think they necessarily need their own category, but I get why they might. But yeah, a lot of these are just a lot of value tied into one card. Helana and Elena could also be over here. The +1/+1 counters synergize with a lot of what we're doing. Remember Great Henge? What a card. And then we have the lands that produce various utility in some way or form, and Songmad Treachery making the cut for the same reason that the Akroan War would. And then we also have a ton of untapped lands, which is why we have like 10 snow-covered forests and 10 snow-covered mountains in the mana base, because we want our lands untapped. We want to curve out. It means a lot of the utility lands and colorless lands that you might often run don't make the cut. This deck is awesome, and so far in the games I've played before recording these, so this is not a spoiler, I'm 8-0, and we did it on stream, and the deck was absolutely just slapping around everything that got in the way. So looking forward to seeing how it plays today. I do promise you this from playing this in Commander, and even in high-powered Commander, it is a stronger card than it looks. So let's dive in. I think it's gonna impress you. Let the nonsense begin.
What? If you wanna play with the best, get your ass to Command Fest. Orlando. If you wanna play with the best, get your ass to Command Fest. Orlando.
Ugh. Welcome to Hell Queue. Actually, Teferi Time Raveler is rarely up in Hell Queue. It's usually just a level below, but immediately I see it and I'm like, oh my, what have I done to deserve this? So, I don't think it's keepable. I love that Toski's here, which is great against Teferi, but I still think we have to take the mulligan because we don't have our colors. It's very hard to get your colors if you don't mulligan for them in this deck, because just a lot of basics in it. You can't expect to just rip the right things. We'll keep this. The Veil of Summer might really help. Get the gift down. I intend to attack you with my Planeswalker. I'm gonna attack you for so much. It's gonna be so much, dude. Cold Steel Heart. Countered by you. No? I should name blue just to mess with them. Alright, nothing but Drago. May I explore? Opponent's letting all this resolve. Boom. Boom. Cultivate. So much mana. Well, they can't play Teferi next turn if they respect the commander. But what we hope is that they don't have double counterspell available next turn, because if they do, it's not good for us. They're just going to say go. Why would they do anything else, right? Alright, they know about this. Let's go for this. Does it resolve? Okay. Does it resolve? Yes, it does. I demand it resolves. Get wrecked. Go for the eyes, boo.
Ready to rumble! Look at us. We are tough.
Voice lines slay me. What now, dude? It's gonna take more than a cheeky counterspell to defeat me. Teferi's gonna slow the sunset. Teferi's gonna dig. Oh, you. Oh. Ooh. This is gonna hurt. And a Faceless Haven? No way. It must be my birthday. Hello. Attack for 8. Fling the Haven? Nah, fling the Boo, right? So, here's one thing. You should probably fling whenever you can. It's so good. Equipped creature gets +1+... So, we do this. Move it over here. Then we do this. Oh my god.
Knock them to the ground, my friend.
Face? We're gonna draw that many cards. We'll find a way to just pick this off, right? I believe. Oh, where are you going, opponent? Was that not a pleasant Magic the Gathering experience for you? Well, it wouldn't be MTG Arena if we didn't get the mirror just ASAP. So I guess we will play this game, although it feels so dumb to play a mirror on the draw. Oh, look at that. And we get a sound bug on turn 1. Don't usually get a sound bug on turn 1. Must be our lucky day. So let me go just power up the tunes and away we go. Take it away, Utho Riley. Yep, no countering this. All right. Sound mixing on the fly. I might not always do it perfectly. Attack for 1. No signets or anything else like that. Do we hold up Bone Crusher or deploy the Spear? What are they going to do on turn 3? Maybe Cultivate? Maybe Llanowar Visionary? I definitely want to Cultivate on my turn. I think we just pass. They might also be sitting on like a Shatter effect for the Spear. Okay. And we definitely wanted the board nice and stable for when we cultivate. That's something we can bone crush. The opponent whiffs. You love to see it. I don't run very many 3-mana ramp spells, and the one I run is Cultivate, a straight up 2-for-1. Don't take no risk with your ramp, guys. It's too important. Tireless Provisioner was another card that I cut. It's a good little value card on its own, but we're not a landfall deck. It's unreliable. Now, decisions get really interesting. We can keep ramping. We can Glorybringer on this Tireless Provisioner, but I think I want to use Glorybringer to take out Minsc and Boo. I think we play our own Minsc and Boo and get it cooking. Send a message. The Allosaurus Shepherd can chump the Provisioner. If the opponent spends any mana at all removing this, it's more awkward for them because they'd love to play their Minsc and Boo this turn. They're going to try to use their Minsc and Boo on my Minsc and Boo, probably. No, they're not. Interesting. Very interesting. They're attacking my face. No blocks then. Does this burn down the house? It is. All right, so let's set up our future mana. Lightning Bolt, Counterspell, Lightning Helix. The Bolt we could potentially play this turn. Totally cut off their hamster powers, but we still have Glorybringer for that. Do I take the Counterspell? Am I that type of person? I just take the Bolt. It's so good. You can drop off the Grudge. It has flashback after all. Play the Shadow Spear. Do they find the 5th land? They find Toski. Ugh. But I have a Shadow Spear. They did have the 5th land, but they got Toski out first. Interesting choice. Maybe they forgot about the Shadow Spear. It says that I can make creatures lose indestructible. That's 2 mana. And then I have 6 mana, which could play Minsc and Boo, but I think I'll just play these two. Now I got board presence. Here's a Gargaroth. How are we going to kill that? Toski is running to its death. We don't have to use the Bolt here. Nom. Enjoy, Giant. I have a feast of squirrels for you. Land, that can be discarded. Faceless Haven, that can be a hamster. What's the play? So many options. But maybe we just want to kill this Gargaroth, huh? Let's go. To glory. You can carry this sword. No exert? No exert. Thank you, Arena. I guess attack all and exert isn't a thing. I'm sure some of you saw that coming. Some of you are laughing your butt off at me right now. Well, that's nice. You'll love to see it. Goodbye, Glorybringer. Wouldn't want you to exert yourself. Still a commanding position, but man, does that feel bad. With the epic music, it makes my punts seem even more just... All right, here comes a hamster. Strangle. Well, that solves our Minsc problem, right? Nope, 4. It's on 4. Okay, this is gonna be weird. Are you ready for weird, guys? Okay. Let's make Faceless Haven. Because Faceless Haven is, in fact, a hamster. And we fling the hamster, we draw 3 cards, and we strangle, and that kills the boo. And then we attack the Minsc and make another treasure, hit face, basically take over the board. So it's all good from there. Teferi again? Okay. It was no big deal the first time. I don't know about this hand, though. I guess we ramp into key and then try to resolve an uncounterable dragon. How bad could it be? But, going second against Teferi is scary. What if they just counter the Paradise Druid? Right. Right. But we have to try. Yeah, you need that one life? I guess. It works. Don't think we'll be yoinking their creature anytime soon. An Archimancer is a really good card in this deck. Reducing basically all of our spells by 1 is epic, but it doesn't reduce key, so we're still going with the Druid. Alright, that resolved nice and easy. You'll love to see it. Okay, the key will not resolve. This is probably the worst draw in the deck. I don't think the key will resolve, so we could send out the Anarchomancer, get some attention that way. Or we could just burn, get something countered. Let's get something countered. Okay, they just drew that. They didn't have that when we played the Druid. They also have 1 white, maybe Fragment Reality, because it looks like they want to target the Druid. Or something that holds priority when I have a creature. They're going to go with Teferi. Because they are miserable. Miserable humans. Alright. Play you. Play you. Alright, 2 creatures. Try to threaten the opponent. If they don't have double white, they can't board wipe at instant speed. Okay, they don't have double white. I think we throw Minsc and Boo at him. We could play the Inferno, but I'm too worried about everything getting blown up. I'd love to resolve the Great Henge, but then we don't kill Teferi. Okay. That's a fair and balanced Magic card, Brainstorm. So glad it's in the format. Yes, I do take shots at blue when I play against blue, because I know that some of you find that ironic. That's just me acknowledging the fact that it's the greatest. It's so freaking nuts, especially in Historic Brawl. All right. Go for the eyes, buddy.
Are ready to rumble. Bigger is always better.
All right, guys. What's going to happen? Do we just make sure Teferi dies? Like that? Yeah. Playing around one removal spell.
Suppose that's how it was meant to.
Just make sure it dies. Now the opponent has to figure out the hamster and the planeswalker. That's fine.
What? How did this happen?
And we'll see if they have a board wipe. And they have a board wipe. So they hit on both of the things they needed to hit on. Let's give them the business. No, we want to play this when they have... We really want to play this when they have a counterspell open. But it's still the best play here because we don't have anything else that's that good. They might just play a removal spell, which would suck. Hi there. They say go. Interesting. Let's put this Great Henge on the stack. What you gonna do about that? A little dismiss action, okay? Get him. Do a little Love Struck Beast and draw a card, probably. Could be a land, so we'll draw now. Beautiful. We'll thin the deck now. The Fairy is definitely trying to get that revenge. They have a much better draw this time than last time. I'm sure the go first has a lot to do with it, but... And our draw is not good. Our draw is definitely not good. Just eat another counterspell. Gotta keep them busy. Ooh, that's something. That's probably good for us. I'm sorry, was the spell going to resolve? Does that scare you? Lol the doctor. You laugh out loud at your doctor? Playing some kind of a rogue deck? The heck? Got a mulligan? Gonna be a lot of hands you mulligan because you don't have your colors with this deck. No ramp is kind of sad. Ancient Grudge is probably not good here, but Clothis might be good if they're on rogues. I mean, I'm gonna keep it, I guess. I don't know. This is a pretty rough hand. This is a pretty rough hand. Not ideal. Very Seer. Are you a rogue? What's going on here? Two to the top. Pretty bad draw considering how clunky everything is already. Opponent? We a ninja gamer? Enchantment creature. Why does Grudge have to be artifact? So they get to draw a card from that. That sucks. Could really use cards that do something. I don't want a Kenris transformation these. You're not an artifact either. This is getting very bad. I should have mulled this hand. I looked at it and I was like, there's no ramp, there's no removal. It's like not a good reason to keep it. Wow, and they're discarding that, so their hand is good. Ugh, so bad. All right, Clothis. Clothis, you have to get us out of this. Little Demir tempo here is just absolutely massacring us. At least this means the graveyard stays full. Brown in the Lock is in the bin. Their hand is absolutely broken. They're, like, nothing of usefulness is going to resolve for the rest of this game. They just stole my Shadow Spear. No. I guess they have one blue up. I'm guessing it's a Spell Pierce, but I can't play around it. I just can't. So we're going to try to steal the Skydiver out of spite. Oh, it worked. Oh my gosh, it worked. What are they keeping in their hand? Okay. Sure, they Fading Hope. Alright. But the Akroan War is on the field. It can kill all of these if we can buy enough time. Why are they discarding? I mean, I guess it makes sense to discard Drown in the Lock when I have no graveyard and Clothis on the battlefield, but, you know. Alright. This is so bad. I guess I'll offer them the ability to take 3 damage to make a play. I really don't want them to have the Nashi. That card is so bad for me. They won't take 3 damage even when they're way ahead. Huh. Alright. So we have to survive this turn. Let's see. If they discard a land, we can play a Gargaroth. Okay, that's tempting. I mean, elking something, we're still taking the same amount or more damage. That's not good. If I play the Gargaroth and it's removed, though, we just lose. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So gaining 2 life won't be good enough. Gaining 4 life won't be good enough. Oh, wait, it can be. Because we have the Grudge for the Shadow Spear. Whereas if we go for the Gargaroth and they remove it, we die. We're just dead. But we know that 2 of their 3 cards aren't removal. Alright, guys. I think the answer is to just make sure I live. Safekeeping for the save. We'll see. They didn't equip the Shadow Spear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Why do these all have some kind of a sword on them? What's that? They ninjutsu. Did I forget something? I did, didn't I? I forgot about the ninjutsu into another silver for master. Balls. Not my finest hour of a gamer. That keep was terrible. That play was terrible. Johnny. Now there's something you don't see every day. We got a Planeswalker showdown. I have a little bit of ramp. It's good. No removal. See how the opponent comes out fast and furious. The Craig. Good mana. There's the ramp. Where's my Ancient Grudge now? Chandra. Okay. Innkeeper. Dropping a Chandra on him could be really good next turn. Into the north. So what does this do exactly? +2, reveal top 3, put all non-land permanents into your hand. -2, exile a creature, gain life. -9, 5 creatures and loyalty on each planeswalker you control. So it feels like a Super Friends deck. I mean, if I ramp out Chandra and something happens to Chandra, we don't get Boo next turn. The other option is to play Domri and hit for 2, and we'll definitely have Boo. Chandra's so good. That said, Chandra can be one of the last cards out of our hand. We definitely want a board that can threaten a Johnny. A Johnny goes up to 6. Minsc and Boo plus an Innkeeper with Domri can do that. Not gonna play anything else. Just gonna hang on to the treasure. It's a good setup. The Domri can't be exiled by the Ajani, so it feels bad to just throw a Johnny down there. But all they did was ramp. Alright. Meet my commander. Go strong. I'm still gonna hang on to this treasure. The burst of mana still looks like it might be really useful. Wrath of God. Green-white control? Faith's Fetters. My commander. My commander no work. Alright, I'm just gonna have to beat you up anyway.
What's that? Something smells rotten. Wait, that might be me.
Hook it up. You're still legendary to me. And guess what? We'll get another one next turn, so you really need to remove the sword. Ugin can do that.
Curiosity and wonder drive civilization. Not
Goes for Domri instead, huh?
We will rise again.
Interesting.
or destroy.
Devils? Devils are a good amount of pressure, but Chandra's probably better. I believe we can also play lands if we exile them.
Hey, over here.
Cast. Crap. Double red? I keep hanging on to this. Is it foolish? Maybe I just play the ooze here. I really want to just deal 1 damage to this somehow. Oh well.
Yup, you're going down.
Take out Cold Steel Heart. I know it seems like they have a lot of mana, but mana sure is useful. And then I'm going to hold this elf. I'm going to kill this Ugin.
I shall withdraw from this petty
I'm holding onto this treasure for dear life, but right now it's what allows me to cast Burn Down the House if something happens to Chandra. Alright. You hit a Solemn.
I do not fight.
And you got a treasure map. Of course, after I blow up the artifacts. Okay. Need a land. Can't hit it. Alright. Exile top card. Make it a good one. It's the land!
Today's
Yeah.
my lucky day.
Nice. Okay. Scoos do much? There is 1 creature in my graveyard. I guess we're gonna play Llanowar, Elf, Hardened Scales, and Scoos. We don't kill the Ajani. We could also power up the Den. We could also Primal Might just for 1. You really want the Ajani. Well, the opponent's close to dead. Maybe we just let them have this, right? Yeah. Yeah, that'll be fine. Nothing bad could happen from that. 7. Arden Scales. Llanowar Elves. Hail Life. Scavenging Ooze. What you got? Top 3 is a Conclave Tribunal and a Llanowar Elf, and a Swords goes to the bottom. Good to see that Swords go away. We're in a great position. Primal Might and Burn Down the House are threatening to push some serious damage here. Doesn't leave the opponent much time for treasure map shenanigans. You're gonna have to do something about that hamster. Or really, it's the sword. Like I said, if they remove the sword, the hamster is just a 1/1. And even with Fate's Fetters on the Minsc Imbu, it will keep creating the hamster every turn if it dies. All right, Xavier's back after some time in Cerebro. Figuring out the perfect line to help survive this turn. Solemn Simulacrum. Esper Sentinel. I'm telling you, all the artifacts since I used that effigy. No more plays? No Tribunal? No Elf. So they've got like maybe a 1 or 2 mana play and a treasure map? No, they play the Elf. They have like a 2 mana play. Maybe 3. Fateful Absence. There's a land. Few cool options. The Primal Might. The Burn Down the House. I think we just try to completely remove the blockers. But I'm not positive. The Chandra can do that. Chandra can also help pay Sentinel tax and help cast everything. Alright. Let's do that. Great, 3 1/1s. And I think I actually let them have a card since they're already committed to a play. If they don't live, I don't have to worry. Alright, Primal Might, pay 0. Just try to kill the Sentinel, and then we'll use the mana to grow the ooze. The opponent takes out Boo. They've still got this, because they can chump the ooze. But it's so much pressure. If they take out the ooze, though, the trampling hamster will probably kill them. They don't have any timeouts. They just roped out. Does that mean they don't get to react now? Oh no, new rope. Always a little more rope for the ropers, except when I do it. Then the turn just ends. Hello? Opponent? A second rope out. A third. What are these friendly rope outs that the opponents get? What is this? Oh, maybe they don't just auto pass turn anymore. Maybe they changed it. Back in my day, kids had to make all their plays or they just lost their combat step. You know, they just unblocking death occurred. I guess it didn't matter. All right, we got a Ramptastic hand and a removal spell for Catilda, which our opponent is using as a commander. So this is a keep. The Veil of Summer is dead. That is the sad part. It's literally like a 6-card hand until we find a Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Just hold that once upon a time. Okay, so it looks like the play is going to be Signet into Strangle, but let's cast this first. We can still do it for free. I guess I'll grab the kitty cat. Don't see a lot of reason to grab the goose. All right, get out of here. Or at least pay a little bit more mana to do such a sweet rampy blamps. Looks like our opponent is taking the human theme very seriously. Let's give him the business. The three-headed business. At least that animation is still here. Ooh, what do you do? Can't be the target of abilities. +1/+1 for each creature. Okay. Toski. It's a fun one. Minsc and Boo. Go big, go home, or go home.
Bigger is always.
Okay, a 4/4 on turn 3 and a 4/4 on turn 4 is a scoop from the opponent in Historic Brawl. What can I say? They soft. More green and white. Okay. That's just a rock solid ramp keep. Straight up goose. And ta-da, sound bug. You love to see it. Take it away, Utho Riley. I have double red in theory, but I guess I'll just name red anyway. Assert dominance. My opponent understands. They can't come back from that. Aspirate, yeah. Everyone's favorite. All right, Minsc and Boo, give it to him. No attacks, though. I want the cards from this. We're playing control mode. Catilda. Okay. Ooh. Do I have the 5? I do. That's so good. Why wouldn't we? Give them the business. Yeah. Out of there, Catilda. They missed a land drop. No mercy. Oh my god. It's beautiful. It's so freaking beautiful. Discard 4 cards. That's so many. I'm hearing like this weird mix of this music and that music. There we go. It's like it's trying to come back, but it can't. The opponent, to their credit, I drew 8 cards, and they didn't concede. They are the strongest opponent we've faced yet. You can say many things about their Luminarch Ass Pirate deck, but they're not soft. Four, huh? Let's go. This is going to be fun. So we go like this. We put the counters here. We give them the business again. Opponent, by the way, controlling a hamster. Very cool. We're going to fling. I want another 3 cards. What can I say? What can I say? And now I got 3 counters in the bank. It's awesome. In the meantime, Luminarch Ass Pirate is still doing what an Ass Pirate does. And the opponent still has 2 lands. But they're making it work. They're making it look good. We go to 15. Okay, we could fly over for 6. I think we drop an Archimancer. And then we fly over for 6. Or we just double bolt this. But if I make it one more turn, we just steal it and win. So that's the plan. 8/8 through the air. Inferno of the Star Mounts. Cultivate. Just think of the mana they could have had. Think of the game they could have played. Regardless, we salute. We salute. Say what you want about the Ass Pirate Gamer. They were not soft. And they did let me draw 11 cards with Minsc and Boo. Something that most people in the Historic Brawl queue are completely incapable of sitting through. And we are back for the post-game wraps. Looking at the stats, Minsc and Boo, Timeless Heroes. What kind of a Brawl deck are you? I've gone since putting the deck together on stream, and you can watch that Twitch VOD. It's public. So if you go to my Twitch channel link in the description, you can watch the VOD of my latest stream where I built the deck and played it live. Combining that and the games I played today for the recording, 16 wins, 2 losses. Those are some hell Q level numbers. Minsc and Boo is a better card than it looks. I found that true in Commander. I find that true here in Historic Brawl. +1/+1 counters on the hamster, threatening a removal/draw engine, putting both pressure on the opponent's ability to keep up on cards and their ability to keep up their life total is an incredible combination. And while Minsc and Boo does cost 5, it just means you have to ramp a little harder than you did before and keep your curve tight. Don't play too many big Timmy cards and you should be fine. The losses. I kept a hand where I never hit my 3rd land. That one probably won't make it into the video. The other, I kept a hand I really shouldn't have, and I got clowned by a bizarre blue-black tempo deck. That one is probably going in the video. It was a different kind of blue-black than I've experienced, and it definitely ran me down in the street like roadkill. So yeah, we got to keep that loss. It's a worthy one, but there aren't many, and for the most part, our opponents continue to expose themselves as just being incredibly soft to the power of Minsc and Boo. When he goes for the eyes, he best not miss, and rarely does. The Akroan War is one of these cards that has tremendous upside, but I continue to draw it against control decks, and it looks pretty bad. So whether or not you want to cut this is really up to you. Another strategy with Minsc and Boo that I want to explore and might do in a future video is a Transmogrify type deck. What if we took out all of the creatures except for the hugest possible creatures? I'm talking like actually keeping in Vorinclex, you know? Keeping in both of these monstrous Vorinclexes and maybe some other giant monsters. And then we run cards like Transmogrify. Cards that let us turn the little hamster token into a giant creature, because it continues to make it every single upkeep. And if we Transmogrify a Boo and then get a giant monster to put those counters on, that could be epic. We have other things like Creativity, Indomitable Creativity. We have Luca as another option to turn the hamster into a giant monster. It does require that we don't run any small creatures, but I think that's a doable thing. Like, looking around, we could cut these and still have an effective deck. Maybe I'll play that someday in the future. Until then, May your heroes be timeless. Thank you for watching this video. As always, I'll see you in the next video. You're cool.